Hello, welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. Tonight I will be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for some, they were early prelims, but now they're just prelims because the order, actually one of them's on the main card. I'm going to give you some fights that, just select fights I guess. I mean the order changed since I did my paperwork. But before I get into that, I want to, hey Button. Making brownies with mommy? Good girl. I want to get into how I did last weekend. I fared pretty well. I'm not gonna spend too much time, but I want to go over it nonetheless because I'm kind of proud of it. Let's see. Started out the opening fight. We had it was TJ Brown, Charles Hossa. I took, of course, that's, you know, TJ Brown, big favorite, easy pick there. I got that. Then I got Brian Kelleher, got him to take out Kevin Kroom. That was again another big favorite there. So, you know, not really that hard of a pick. Then I had my first upset. Court McGee took out Ramiz Brahimaj. That was great. I loved it. Court McGee, he was I think like a plus, just a barely an underdog, like maybe plus 105 or 110, something like that. But nonetheless, got that. Then another underdog, Jamie Pickett, took care of Joseph Holmes, ugly man Joseph Holmes, and that I don't even know why he was the underdog, because Joseph Holmes, as I watched it, during the watch along, I watched with Dev the Dude and Sal, and I was saying, I'm like, Joseph Holmes is yet to prove that he's UFC caliber. Jamie Pickett's been in there. He's beaten, who'd he beat? Loriano Staropoli or something. But anyway, Jamie Pickett took care of Joseph Holmes, got that right. Then another hyped up Contender Series guy, Joe Anderson Brito. I picked Bill Algeo for the same reasons. I'm like, this Joe Anderson Brito, first I think he's lying about his age, and second, he hasn't shown me he's beat anybody UFC caliber, where Bill Algeo beat Spike Carlisle, who is now beating everybody up in Bellator. So because of that reason, once again, I said to Dev and Sal, I'm like, dude, take Bill Algeo. So there I was, just still on a streak. I go, here's finally the next fight. It was Dakota Bush and Slavoklaus Vladislav Borshev. I was like, this guy's special. This guy is not an average contender. He's got like over 100 kickboxing fights. He's a master of sport. He's teaching Russian government officials on how to fight. He's a lawyer. This dude is not the average Contender Series guy. This guy is there's something special about him. I think he's going to get over Dakota Bush. And that was the first finish on the card. Everything before that was decision. Fantastic. I got that correct. Moving up. Next, I got Caitlin Chukagian by the Hiya, and I knew it. I told you a little bit, pretty much the same what happened the first time. That was an easy pick for me. Then Brandon Royval took care of Rogerio Bontorin. So there at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I went 8 perfect until Chase Sherman messed it all up for me. I was, you know, I figured he was going to be in better shape. I didn't, like Jake Collier, I was going to fade him because he gained 80 pounds. You know, he's, but whatever. Good on Dev. Dev was like, I'm telling you, man, Jake Collier, it was hilarious. By that time, I was, you know, feeling pretty good. But anyway, that messed up my perfect card right there, Jake Collier. Then, and I picked Giga, which, retrospect, I'm glad I hedge bet Calvin Kattar. I just wish I picked him on Tapology, and I wish I picked him in my perfect parlay. But Giga was taught, you know, don't mess with Calvin Kattar, and I was kind of going that way too. That's why I made that hedge bet. So not a bad night. Overall, 8-2. This is actually the first time BC Dave and I were in agreement on every single fight. He ended up beating me by 50 points on the Tapology contest because he nailed some props, which he nailed methods, which I got wrong. So, yeah, congratulations, Dave. Your t-shirt is in the mail. Ordered yesterday. It said it's coming in March. So, I mean, it's not my fault. You live in British Columbia, Canada. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, it's on its way. Okay, moving on. Let's get into this card. Starting this off with 4 fights because this one I've covered before. This one I've covered before. This one was supposed to happen last week. But anyway, this was the old order. Now I think Michel Fajeda's up on the main card. Maybe Barcelos too. I don't know. I'm not sure. The order's changed. But nonetheless, I'm going to go on with the order I have because that's how I wrote it down. So let's get into this. We're going to start out with the battle of the welterweight UFC debutantes, both making their UFC debut. We've got the newcomers, Della, Maddalena. The reason I wrote Della is because this guy, he's a former Eternal MMA welterweight champion. And I was looking at some of that stuff, and they, on the poster board, they were calling Jack Della. They didn't even mention the Maddalena. So that's what I'm going to call him, Jack Della. But this guy, he's a big hype. Lot of hype on this guy coming out of Australia. And he was supposed to originally go against Warlley Alves. He's 10-2. He lost his very first 2 pro fights when he debuted, but he's been on a 10-fight win streak since then. The guy's just looking upward, looking good. He's taking on Pete Rodriguez. Pete Rodriguez, I guess from Fight Night Pick Brothers, they said he was going by the name Pedro Rodriguez, so I'm not sure about all that. But he's 4-0, pretty much inexperienced as a pro. But if you look, he's got, I think 9 amateur fights. So, and only 2 losses out of there. So the guy, and his 4 wins, even though they're against a bunch of cans, he took care of business quick. All of them knocked out in the first round. So this guy, he can sneak up. He's plus 250, Pete Rodriguez. Going against this Jack Della, you got Australian guy, regional fighter, taking on the Mexican regional fighter. This guy, let's see. Jack Della is, like I said, he was the Eternal MMA champion. That is the regional scene down in Australia. 10-fight win streak. He's got a 2-inch height advantage. He trains out of a place called Scrappy MMA and Fitness. I guess you can't tell because he's a striker, but he does have a BJJ brown belt, but I guess you haven't seen him go to the ground. Pete Rodriguez, on the other hand, all his 4 pro fights were in Icon Fight Federation, and that is Mexican regional scene. His amateur fights also the Mexican regional scene. His nickname is Dead Game, and it's fitting because all the guys he destroys. He makes them dead. He's taking care of business. That's why I'm very cautious taking this pick. Let's see what his last fight, Roberto Pixley, TKO round 1. His last 4 fights, all TKO round 1. So keep that in the back of your head when you're picking for or against Pete Rodriguez. Okay, let's see what the cappers have to say in this. Della is a huge favorite, minus 300, a 3-1 favorite, so you gotta imagine which way it's gonna go. Taking Jack Della Maddalena, we've got Blood Money. Blood Money is saying TKO. round 2. Good on you. Both the Matt and Craig Allen from Fight Night Picks, both taking Della to get it done here. Dev and Sal are both saying this is a lock. I'm gonna draw a little lock symbol here. That's a lock. I know it looks kind of like a purse, but that's lock. That's a lock symbol. And I think they said Dev thinks it's gonna go to decision, but I don't know about that. These guys are finishers. Della also I know he's got those 2 losses. One was by, like I said, they're early. There's his pro debut, 2 first fights. But ever since then, I think I want to say maybe 8 of his 10 wins are all by knockout within the first 2 rounds. So these guys are both finishers. I think violence will be the bet to take here. I'm not sure. Let's see, because there's no value in just taking Della at -300. That's ridiculous. Then we got AJ Devito from MMA Experts. He's also in agreement for Blood Money, saying TKO round 2. I like that, AJ. That's a good pick. And finally, we've got both the Stat Diggers, DFS and Wheezy, both taking Jack Della Maddalena to get the victory here, making this a full capper consensus. If you don't know, full capper consensus is when all the handicappers pick the same side. In this fight, everybody's taking the newcomer in Jack Della Maddalena. But like I said, this guy, he's live, man. +250. Thing is, he's coming in short notice. By the way, Jack Della Maddalena was favored over Warley Alves prior to Rodriguez coming in on short notice. So, but the opportunity knocks. This guy's answering the door. That's why, I'm gonna, for the sake of Tapology and the picks, I have to go with the favorite here. I'm gonna pick him in Tapology, but I might throw a little half a unit hedge bet on Rodriguez because +250, and he could, if he does, it's gonna be KO. Hedge bet the KO for Rodriguez. That's gonna make it. It's not gonna be decision, that's for sure. All his wins are in the first round. So there's no, he's already +250 just to win. If you take it by KO, it's got to jump that up a little bit. Della, though, will be my pick on Tapology, and I think he's going to get it done. Man, I'm just going to say, I don't know. This Rodriguez, though, he got rear naked choked. Della is a BJJ brown belt, but he hasn't shown it. Man, this could go. This is a tough fight. I guess I go TKO because I did say violence is the way to go here. TKO round 2. I'll go with Blood Money and MMA Experts. That seems like a nice solid pick there. So moving on. Now this strawweight fight between Vanessa Demopolis and Silvana Gómez Juárez. I did cover this already last week. If I was savvy enough, like Fight Night Pick Brothers, I'd just run the feed from last week. But I have new cappers, so they weren't all on the show last week that I did. So I'm just gonna go through this again. We've got Vanessa Demopolis, the slightly younger fighter at 33 years old. But Silvana Gómez Juárez, 37. Demopolis comes in with a record of 6-4. She's coming off a loss to J.J. Aldrich, whereas unanimous decision loss for J.J. Aldrich is a pretty good fighter. You can't take much away from that. She's 3-2 in her last fight. They have a common opponent in Lupita Godinez. Silvana Gómez Juárez, actually her last fight was against Lupita Godinez, where she got armbarred round 1. Made Lupi made quick work with her. However, Vanessa Demopolis lost to her by majority decision. Majority decision means one of the judges called it a draw, so it could have went that way. But Demopolis did lose by majority decision. And Vanessa Vapolis, she's a BJJ brown belt, so you got to think she has the grappling advantage. But Juárez, you would think, has the striking advantage. She fights out of Entram Gym, who has actually 4 fighters on this card. You know, we got Brandon Moreno, we got her, we have another newcomer I'm going to talk about tomorrow, and we have, I know there's 4 fighters on this card, all from Entram Gym. Demopolis, she used to be out of Black House with Mackenzie Dern, but she has since moved. Now she's in Arizona out of Fight Ready, and that has, so you got to imagine, Fight Ready has like Tisha Torres is there. That's Henry Cejudo's place. So there's other, I can't think of them right now, but I know she had, Weili Zhang also fights out of Fight Ready. So you got to consider she does have potential training partners. Whereas an Entram Gym, you scroll down that list of Tapology fighters, and you don't see many females. But anyway, what else can I say? Silvana Gómez Juárez, 1-inch height and 1-inch reach advantage. That's really nothing. Vanessa Demopolis, you know, originally, last week when this happened, this was coin flip minus 110 each side, but now you can see money's been coming in on Vanessa Demopolis. She's minus 135 favorite. However, if you go on Tapology, the public is taking Juárez. I think, like, I want to say 70% of the public pick is on the side of Juárez. Hi. How's the brownies coming? They're baking?
And the batter's good.
The batter's good? I saw you in there licking the spoon. So, let's see what the cappers have to say in this rescheduled fight between Vanessa Demopolis and Silvana Gómez Juárez. I found out Vanessa Demopolis, she also, I guess she has like a stripper Bible or something. Fight Night Pick Brothers, they have some odd factoids about these people that, I don't know where they find this stuff out, and she was on there's a show on Netflix called Beastmaster. I guess Vanessa Demopolis was on one of those episodes. I've never seen it, but interesting. So we're going to start out with Matt and Craig, both of them on the side of Vanessa Demopolis. She has fought a better strength of schedule. She has fought better fighters. She's lost to good ones, but she's also she also beat some good ones too in there. Whereas in Silvana Gómez Juárez, she's only beaten who was it? Melo, Vanessa Melo or something, or I forget, but that was years ago too. So I don't know. She's lost to good girls too, like Ariana Lipski. But Ariana Lipski's in and out. Sometimes she's good, sometimes she's not. So take that with a grain of salt, whatever. Vanessa Demopolis, also taking her. We've got Dev and Cell. Both of those guys are not confident. It's not a lock, but both of them are pretty much in agreement that Demopolis is going to win within distance. That's, for a female fight, that's a risky call. The over 2.5 is minus 200. But hey, here first. The links will be in the description. Check it out for yourself. Then we got AJ Devito, MMA Experts. He's saying Demopolis also within distance. He's saying by submission. MMA Experts, good on you, AJ. Then Wheezy and DFS are split on this one. It was kind of mixed signals because Stat Diggers Wheezy. Wheezy was on Demopolis, and DFS, he said, I have no bet here. And at the same time, he said, if I was to bet, I would bet Demopolis by submission. That's probably the value. But then toward the end, he was like, well, we're on disagreements, because Wheezy's like, I'm going to take Vanessa Demopolis. And DFS was like, well, on this one, we disagree. Let's move on to the next. But when he says he disagree, that means he's taking Juárez. So I don't know. Check it out for yourself. He's taking Juárez. I think he likes her striking, and he's not impressed with Demopolis's takedown skills. So he thinks it's going to stay standing, where Juárez should be able to outstrike and outcorner. Juárez does have a better record. Look at that, 10-3, but Demopolis has more UFC fights, so keep that in mind. And finally, we've got Blood Money, also taking the underdog here. Probably because of plus money, but I don't blame him. That's a good pick, but I'm sticking with the same pick I had last weekend. Nothing's changed for me. I'm going to go with Vanessa Lil Monster Demopolis to get the job done. But the method changed for me. I did pick her originally by decision. I think I'm going to go with a submission. I don't know if Silvana Juárez has the know-how to stop a submission from a BJJ brown belt. So I'm going to probably do that prop bet as DFS said. You know, value would be in there. And I think Wheezy's also going submission too. So there you have that. Moving on. What's a time check? Let me see. It's supposed to average. Oh, perfect. I'm averaging 10 minutes per fight. Moving on. Next we have Michel Pajara taking on André Fialho. André Fialho is coming out of, was it? I think, yeah, ex-MMA official. That's, UAE Warriors. That's where he's out of. That's in Abu Dhabi. So this is his UFC debut, but he's fought UFC caliber fighters in his past. He's 14-3. He's got wins over people like James Vick and most recently Stefan Sekulic, who was also before in the UFC. He's on a 4-fight win streak, guys. André Fialho, plus 230 with a record of 14-3. He's resides out of Portugal, but he trains out of Sanford MMA. Very important factor there. That does make a difference. Michel Pajara, everybody knows about this guy. He's 26-11. He's coming off wins against Nico Price and Chaos Williams, where he's got his game together. Before that, he has a loss. I remember his loss to Tristan Connolly, where he burned himself out trying to be flashy. He likes doing a flashy, dancey entrance, and he likes to go for like flying knees and jump off the cage kicks and just flashy stuff, which people have noticed you're burning yourself out, you're wasting your cardio on that. So, but he's since fixed that. He's still, the fight IQ is still suspect, because who's that? He's got a loss to Diego Sanchez because of illegal knee, where he was winning that whole thing, and Diego, of course, you know, he saw an out to get a victory by illegal knee. Hey, he did it. He got the victory. He got the win by illegal knee. So, but Michel Pajara is looking ripped. He's looking cut. Check out his Instagram. He is in prime form. The Malador. I don't know what that means, but sounds pretty good. He fights out of the Scorpion Fighting Systems in Michigan. Josh Parisian, the heavyweight fighter there, he's like an assistant MMA coach there. So I don't know. And I think there's another guy, Colin Anglin. I think those are the only two guys I recognized on the list from Scorpion Fighting Systems. But Michel Pajara, he's big favorite. He should, it was minus 300. Now, money's, you know, I guess a little bit of money's been coming in Fialho, because Fialho was a plus 240. Now he's plus 230. Like I said, Pajara was minus 300. It's moved 30 points to minus 270. Still massive favorite, but not as bad. So I think some of the public is realizing Fialho, he might be worth a little hedge bet or something. So let's see what else. Fialho, 1 inch reach advantage, that's nothing though. Pajara, 1 inch height advantage, nothing. I say the main, both of them, 28 and 27, so no age discrepancy, 28, 27, nothing going on there. So tail of tape is pretty much even. However, Pajara, the experience is definitely on his side, but Fialho, he had a fight against Chris Curtis. It went back and forth. I think he lost by, I don't know if he got knocked out, but I want to say he lost by decision. So, and 4 fights ago, he knocked out James Vick. So the dude has fought UFC caliber fighters, 14 and only 3 losses. Pajara, 26 double-digit losses, 11. His base is Capoeira. That's that Brazilian dance fighting, and he seems to even against Nico Price. He won round 1 and 2. Round 3, Nico Price won that. You know why? Because he was going back to his roots. Pajara. He was trying to do those flying knees and flashy stuff. Doing the capoeira, the dance fighting, and it's just like his base. Like when people, it's mixed martial arts, but when they start getting mentally tired, they go back to where they started. Wrestlers go back to wrestling. BJJ guys go back to grappling. Michel Pajara goes back to capoeira. So that's just what I've seen. I could be wrong on that, but that's how I look at it. But anyway, let's see what the cappers have to say in this, starting with the favorite. We've got both the stat diggers, Wheezy and DFS Brady, both taking Michel Pajara. And they're the ones, I guess, look at his Instagram. He's in the best, he's like phenomenal shape. He's in the best shape of his life, I guess, physically, like visually ripped, huge, you know, for welterweight. So, you know, I agree too. I checked out his Instagram. I don't follow him or nothing, but anyway, I did check him out, and he is, I'll give you that, he is chiseled. Then we got AJ Devito, MMA experts. He's taking Pajara by decision. You know what else is Pajara? He's got a win against Saeed Nurmagomedov, who is also fighting on this card, and that is a great win. So you got to consider that too. He's fought high quality UFC fighters, not just, you know, but what sticks in my mind is that loss to Tristan Connolly. But I guess since then he's overcome that gas out type, you know, burn your gas tank cardio, burn your cardio type of style fighting, and he paced himself against Chaos Williams and Nico Price until the 3rd round. But that was, you have 2 rounds in your pocket too. So in his defense, he already knew he had 2 rounds in his pocket going into the 3rd. Might as well go for some flying knees, try to get that, you know, fight of the night finish bonus or something. So you can't blame him for that. I don't know, he just really, he's a little bit too flashy for me. That's all. I'm telling you how I see it. Devin Cell, also both taking Pajara. Then we got Blood Money, also Cody taking Pajara by decision here. And finally, Fight Night Picks, Matt, not Craig. Craig is the contrarian, keeping this from being a full capper consensus. That means he gets this whole side of the board by himself. Fight Night Picks, FNP, Craig Allen, good on ya. I like it. He knows the odds too. At that time, he said it was 240 plus 240. Good on you, Craig. And I mean, I hate to do it, but I'm gonna go the same way. I don't like that Fajeda's got double-digit losses. That means he's 11 times he's lost. Fialho, he's lost 3. I heard Stat Diggers, Weezy was saying this guy's cardio sucks. That's the reason why. He said it's worse than Pajara. And Pajeda's flaw was his cardio from doing all that flashy stuff, but I guess he's overcome that. We shall see. I'm siding with the big underdog here, the plus money. I'm gonna go with, you know, call me crazy, call Craig crazy too then if you're gonna call me crazy. I think plus 230. I think André Fialho might have a chance to get it done. I don't think he's gonna knock him out, but I think he might be able to get the decision just like Tristan Connolly did. I mean, one can hope. And he has some good boxing, this André Fialho. He has a very stiff jab. He has nice uppercuts. He can outpoint Michel Pajara, especially if Michel Pajara starts to try to do some capoeira fancy, funny stuff. I think the Portuguese fighter, André Fialho, will spot that. And like I said, past 4 fights, again, were all very good fights, knocking out people like James Vick. You can't just shrug that to the side. At plus 230, come on. Finally, moving on. We have, I think this got moved up to the main card too, I'm not sure, but we've got Raoni Barcelos, Victor Henry. This was supposed to happen 2 times over now. It was supposed to happen back at UFC 269. Actually, it was Barcelos Islam Makhachev, right? Or not Islam Makhachev, Muslim Salikov. Yeah, it was supposed to be, no, that was Pajara. I'm sorry, my bad. Victor Henry's coming in short notice for somebody, but I forget who. And it was, Movsar Evloev, or, man, do I have to pull it? I'm not going to pull it up. I forget who it is, but Victor Henry, and this was not supposed to happen at 62, 69. It was supposed to happen last week. That's right. It was supposed to happen last week. Raoni Barcelos was supposed to fight Emiev. I forget who, but it was a good, it's right there too. It's a tip of my tongue. I can picture the guys. But anyway, it fell out. Victor Henry jumped in the spot. I covered this already, but I'll cover it again. Okay, Raoni Barcelos 16-2, minus 450. That jumped right up. I think last week against Victor Henry, last week he was a minus 350, so that jumped up 100 points. You know, full $100 there. Minus 350 to now minus 450. No value in betting there unless you have to pick the round in method. Or I don't even know what it is by points. Then we've got Victor Henry, 21-5 plus 350. Oy, oy, oy. And you know what? This moved up within a day. Yesterday this was minus 420, and this was a plus 320. Now it's jumped up 30 points both ways. Plus 350 for Victor Henry, minus 450 for Raoni Barcelos. Let's see. Raoni Barcelos is coming off a loss to Timur Valiev, but wasn't really a loss. It was a majority decision, and some people are saying that was a robbery. He should have got that. I think he did get a couple knockdowns over Valiev, but yeah, majority decision. That means one of the judges called it a tie. Still, he lost the decision to Timur Valiev. Before that, he was on like a 10-fight win streak. He has wins over Saeed Nurmagomedov. Khalid Taha was in there too. Raoni Barcelos is the real deal. You know, he's a Brazilian wrestling champ. He's been wrestling. His dad was a wrestler, like, you know, Olympic-style wrestling. folk style, freestyle wrestling. He's yeah, he's been wrestling ever since he was like 10 or something, something crazy. But and he fights out of Refit Pro Fighters in Brazil. Don't really know much about that place, but anyway, Raoni Barcelos. These guys are like 3 or 4 days difference in age. They're both 34. But he's walking into a you know, tough challenge. Victor Henry, 21-5, more fights. As you can see, Barcelos 16-2, Henry 21-5. He spent a lot of time fighting over in Japan. And he's been in Pancrase, he's been in Ryzen. I think most recently I think he was where is it? Oh, I didn't write it down, but anyway, this Victor Henry's been around. La Mangosta. La Mangosta means mongoose, the mongoose. He's never been finished either. Victor Henry has never been finished. So that's also weighing in on me, okay? He's coming off a win against Albert Morales by rear naked choke, round 2. He has, though, in his past, he has a win against Kyler Phillips. You guys all know Kyler Phillips. That was a split decision. And he also has a knockout win against Anderson Dos Santos, ADS. That was, he knocked him out, TKO round 2. What a good fight for Victor Henry. So you got to consider, he is plus 350. Whoo! He's a live pick. But anyway, let's see what the cappers have to say here, because I got to wrap this up. We've got taken Raoni Barcelos, Dev and Cell, both saying this is a lock. Again, drawing the lock. Then we have both Fight Night Pick brothers, Matt and Craig, all over Raoni Barcelos. He does have that pedigree wrestling. He's got that, you know, the Brazilian wrestling champion. Blood Money is saying by a decision, which is smart because he's not, I don't think he's going to finish Victor Henry. The dude has never been finished. Barcelos, and Victor Henry is not bad, guys. He just, this is his UFC debut. He's on short notice for somebody who it's killing me that I can't remember. I want to bring back my old paperwork to take a look at it. And you know what? I have to. I'm sorry. I've got to. I gotta look at it. You know, it's just bugging the crap out of me. It'll only take me a second. But Victor Henry, like I said, he's Pancrase, Ryzen. Oh, it just says short notice. It doesn't say for who though. Unbelievable. But anyway, I forget who it was supposed to be for. But then we've got MMA experts, AJ Devito. He's also saying Barcelos by decision. Smart pick there. And finally, we've got Stat Diggers, both of them. Wheezy said Barcelos by murder, so they're pretty confident in Raoni Barcelos taking care of Victor Henry. More confident than I am because I'll tell you what, I'm taking Barcelos because of his, you know, his wrestling credentials. And his history as a wrestler, because I was a wrestler, and I always go for the big wrestling props. So I'm going to take Barcelos, but just like I said last week, and I meant it, I am going to hedge bet. I'm going to put half a unit on Victor Henry, so $10 will make you 35. It could happen. Hey, he's never been finished. He's got some good wins. But, yeah, I'm going to take my pick on Tapology will be Raoni Barcelos by decision. Whew, finally done. Made it through these 4 fights to recap. Thank you. To recap, I've got Della Maddalena beating Pete Rodriguez. TKO round 2, minus 300, it's expected. But I will half a unit to me is $10. I'll hedge bet Rodriguez. Actually, it's going to be more than 250 because I'm going to prop it. I'm going to say by KO, knockout. Hedge bet Rodriguez by knockout. I don't know what the exact odds are going to be, but they'll be higher than plus 250, that's for sure. Just for a hedge bet, you know, $10, like a scratch off. Then I got Vanessa Demopolis by submission, beating Silvana Gómez Juárez. Then I have the upset, the big upset. It's not like I'm picking André Fialho, but I'm fading Michel Pajara. Okay, I know it's biased, and I know it's not right. I'm stupid. I might be stupid for doing it, but whatever. It's my picks. These are free picks, you know, whatever. Tail me, fade me. I really don't give a shit. I'm taking André Fialho at plus 230 to get it done by decision. I'm gonna fade Michel Pajeda. I just don't like the guy. And finally, I'm taking Raoni Barcelos to get the decision victory over Victor Henry. I wish Victor Henry had an easier matchup, but I don't see him winning here. However, he might be worthy of also a little hedge bet, depending on how my bankroll looks, if I have the money to afford to spill on it. But yeah, I have a couple hedge bets here, 2 of them. 2 hedge bets on this. I'm going to parlay Barcelos, Fialho, Della, and Demopolis. 4-leg parlay, because I usually do 3 fights, but after I did the math and stuff, I had to do this 4-fight, and then, like I said, 2 of these were already covered before, so it's kind of, you know, kind of like a catch, but it should pay out very well, especially if I'm taking Fialho, which is plus 230. That'll boost my odds right up on that 4-leg parlay. So gather the info, place the bets, cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Go ahead, leave comments on who you think's going to win these fights. I know you're going to probably be saying, oh, Demolidor, Pajara by murder and stuff, and I'm crazy. But you know what? Hey, it's my money. I do what I want. But anyway, there you have it. Good luck on your bets. Leave a like, guys. Subscribe if you haven't done that. Every week I pump out these videos. I'm only gaining like 1 or 2 subscribers a week. So that would be cool if I get a couple, you know. But anyway, good luck on these bets. Stay tuned for tomorrow where I will be covering 3 more fights. I already started my research on it. I'll tell you who they're going to be so you can get anxious about it. It's going to be Jasmine Jasudurafishus versus Kay Hansen, Tony Gravely versus Simon Oliveira, and Matt Steamroller Frivola against Gennaro Valdez. Those will be the 3 fights I cover tomorrow night. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow.